Hey guys, welcome to week 2 in English 111. So far, I've enjoyed reading people's work. I still have some assignments to get through that you turned in, um, but I shall grade those promptly. And so, beginning week 2, thank you to everybody who completed the survey about what office hours work well for you. Turns out that Tuesday from noon to 1 and Wednesday from noon to 1 are really good windows for people. So I will be holding office hours Tuesday and Wednesday from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And we'll hold on to this schedule for weeks 2 through 5. And then I'll review that and see if that works best. All right. So now I'm going to move to a quick introduction of our course here of the work for this week. So naturally we'll go to course content. And here's week 2 is now open on your computers. And here's the update about the office hours right here, okay? And then this is the assignment. This assignment, you're familiar with it. It's what we went over last week, right? So it's all things you're familiar with. At this point, you might want to start looking at the rubric. As you work on your rough draft, I would point out that, let me zoom in a little here, okay? So I'm grading for form and integration. I'm looking for, is it written in third person? Are these things strong? Is it kind of fact-based almost? Like, because you're not writing, I believe my agency is this. You're saying Brian Fisher's agency is this. So it's like you're writing about yourself from the third person, okay? And then focus. You're going to have an introductory paragraph that includes your thesis statement that addresses the prompt. The thesis statement has to be supported by the body paragraphs. And I'm obviously looking for topic sentences that do that, right? Interest is developed and held throughout. Support, the body paragraph should include details and specifics in a logical manner that supports the topic sentence and the thesis sentence. The evidence needs to be relevant. And you should also, the details and specifics, you should be explaining those. And then for organization, the logic of the essay, especially as the essay moves from paragraph to paragraph, follows an order that suits the purpose of the essay. Makes sense, right? And then that's worth 10 points. And then conventions, grammar, usage, and spelling are properly employed, double space, proper headings, etc. More details about conventions are in the syllabus. So I would suggest that you work on that. Now, a word about, now I'll cover it later. All right, so that's that. Review that. The outline is due on Tuesday, and the rough draft is due on Friday, and the times are noon. All right. The pre-writing outline is due on Tuesday at noon, and this folder is kind of lengthy. And so first you're going to do a journal, and this is kind of like a brainstorming thing. Remember, a journal is just to me. All you have to do is you just have to, number one, you're going to, this journal is going to do the following. It's going to help you get your brain working on the background on your topic and provide you with the starting point. When you click on it, you're going to write down your thesis, and then you're going to write down 3 specific events or concrete details that support your thesis. I would suggest you do this right away. This is just to get kind of the juices flowing and help you be ready to write. You know, you are not married to this thesis. It's just an idea. You can totally change it. In fact, you know, most people obviously change their thesis quite a bit as they write. There is the textbook intro, conclusion, narrowing topic. Not many pages, just pages 121 through 26, and then 144 through 151. So just read those. They'll be really useful. Here is, this is like a rough draft for me, right? And I wrote this for myself, and it doesn't really do a good job, actually. I mean, it's got some good parts to it, but it's an example of something that I'm looking for, and then you're actually going to critique it. So I say, this is my rough draft. It's not very good. It's got a couple problems, and then I ask you to critique it. Before you critique it, I want you to look at pre-writing thesis and outline. and just kind of look over. This is really some pre-writing things to think about. Um, Here we go. Prompt: analyze how an aspect of yourself, your identity, for example, is empowering your future. So really read these, okay? I kept it to one page, and I think it's really important, especially like the dynamic thesis. Your thesis should be at the end of your intro. The thesis is what drives the whole paper. So, and I write here, this thesis is actually a very complex animal. It has to analyze, to express movement between current identity and future empowerment. By dynamic action, I mean that you're analyzing, showing the relationship between your current identity, like something about you, right? Like maybe, you play baseball or softball, and that's really important. And you actually have learned how to be responsible or have great drive. That's like your agency, right? And so how is that going to empower your future self is part B here, right? So you need to show how the current identity drives future empowerment. In other words, your thesis pretty much is going to have to say, because I have this kind of thing going on in me, like that I learned through baseball or softball, I believe that my future is going to kind of look like this because I will carry that agency that I have, that self-empowerment to be successful, or this drive to succeed at whatever I do, that's going to carry you into the future. So you see what I'm saying. It is a complex essay. I'm sure you can do well, and you're going to get lots of chance to revise it. Okay. Then there's that. Then this is discussion board. You're going to actually critique my rough draft right here. And I really expect you to go in order of my things in Blackboard here, okay? So you're going to critique it. You'll read it. You're going to go here. You're going to create your own thread. And, you're going to write something like Brian's opinion on Brian or something, right? Like whatever. So good. You do that, you submit it, follow the directions. I gotta back up a little. Uh-oh, I'm trapped. Just a sec. Okay, so hold on one sec. All right, very good. Then I've got a sample outline, and you review the sample outline for guidance on what I expect. You can copy it if you like. So it's a Google Doc. All you have to do is go to File, make a copy, and then save it for yourself. You're going to have an introduction. I want your introduction written out in paragraph form. Make sure you have your thesis in there. The rest of this, I want a topic sentence that builds on your thesis for paragraph 1. You give an example or two. Note that in your rough draft, you're going to have to explain how this example supports your topic sentence. So do a little bit of explaining how the example supports your topic sentence, either here or after each example. So you could just do a C, or you could do it like up here. All right. Then you're going to do paragraph 2, paragraph 3, conclusion, look at the text for some guidance on conclusions, and then you can just bullet point a conclusion. All right. So I am looking for this to be easy to read. I don't need this specific example all the way written out. It can just be like a statement or two, a sentence or two. If you want to write more, you can, but I'm really looking to see that you've fleshed out an idea, and I want it kind of tight for me to be able to give good feedback. If you don't have much detail here, though, then it's hard for me to give you feedback. And by detail, I don't mean going on and on and on. I mean specific. Like, so I don't want, I played baseball. A specific example is not I played baseball or softball in 3rd grade. A specific example is a picture, almost a snapshot. Like in 3rd grade, my baseball softball coach, pushed me to learn how to hit the ball. And so my dad actually would work with me every day and blah, just that something really specific. Or, the time that we lost that game because I hadn't practiced enough. This is the lesson I took from it. Like, I want a snapshot. I don't want to hear about the whole season. I want a moment in time that helps explain the whole season or explains yourself, some aspect of yourself, right? Okay. And then that's the outline. This is a slideshow that if we were in person, right, I would go through this with students and they would be peer editing. You're just going to have to look through this on your own. I really think you could sit down with like a friend at school. You know, I know a lot of you actually have a bunch of your peers in the same school as you taking this class, so maybe you could do it with them. Go home, do it with your mom or dad, brother, sister, friend. You know, when I was in high school, my mom would help me with my papers, and it was really, you know, she was good at it, and she could kind of help me learn. She didn't do it for me. She'd sit down and we'd talk about it. Use this slideshow to try to work with somebody to help you revise your outline before you turn it in. And here's where you submit your outline. We reviewed how to submit things last week, so you're all good. It's due Tuesday, January 25th. You're going to attach it. I would prefer if you submitted it as a Word doc or as a PDF. And also, please note the following. I would like to make a video maybe like on Tuesday afternoon and send it out to everybody discussing successful outlines or successful things about them, right? And part of that means I'm going to be looking at how it could be better as well. If I use, I'm asking if it would be okay with, if you would be okay with me using your outline, please put a note at the top of your outline letting me know you're okay with me using your outline as an example. Then I might use that outline of yours as in a little video I send out on Tuesday afternoon maybe, right? And then that would be useful for everybody. But in particular, you would get really awesome feedback. So in class, when I'm in person with everybody, I do this all the time. People are a little uncomfortable right off the bat, but because it's weird to have your work discussed by the teacher. But what happens is pretty much everybody really wants theirs to be done after a week or two of this, because they realize like, oh, I'm going to get really personal, specific feedback to myself, and they enjoy it, you know. And obviously, I'm a nice, decent. I try to be a nice, decent person, right? I'm not going to rip something apart. I'm going to be like, this is what's strong. This is what needs some work, right? And then talk about how it can be revised. So if you'd like that kind of option for feedback, let me know at the top of the outline. Perfect. So now we move on to the, all of that is due on Tuesday at noon. MC2 rough draft, click on this. This is where your rough draft goes. You know, this is a same thing, a peer editing document. I recommend you check it ahead of time and kind of review before you turn it in, and then we'll use that next week too. You're going to submit your MC2 here, the rough draft. Remember, I don't take late assignments except for the final draft of a major composition. So you will want to turn this in on time on Friday. Now, you can turn it in after Friday, and I'll give you feedback, but you're not, let me rephrase that. You can turn it in after Friday at noon, and I will 100% give you awesome feedback, or the best I can do, but you will get a 0 on it because it's late. And I do that because once people start getting behind, they get behind. All right, so any other questions? No? I'm so used to teaching in person. All right, that's about it. Let me come back to here. Okay. All right. Well, listen, it was great talking sort of with you here, and I wish you well. Hopefully I'll see some people if they have questions on Tuesday or Wednesday in office hours. And as always, feel free to email me as well. All right. Bye.